want to look at maybe call it the start of an end game here, and for some context, look at what that's end game of. You can see there's some colonies in this game, but it's not a pretty board. The reason that it's not pretty is that there's a distinct lack of trashing, which means that our draw option, which is going to be this walled village and either moat or black cat, I'm going to have a really tough time getting through everything. Like, this is not the strongest draw option ever, and so if villages split evenly, like 5-5, you're definitely very limited on what you can actually get through with walled village moat or walled village black cat. And so, your opponent's not going to be letting you get 8 villages. In that case, you probably could draw through everything and be pretty happy about things, but let's be realistic here. That's not going to be the case. For payload-wise, you're actually in an okay spot. There's Bank, which works well with your starting coppers. That's probably going to produce as much or more than Colony. Mining Road will support that. Deliver will support really everything early, where you can, do Walled Village, Moat, and probably even see your entire deck once or twice before you start to get into just having too much other stop cards in the deck. The other notable thing about Deliver is it can put black cats into your next hand, which is certainly a thing that you can do late. Your opponent can defend against them with Moat, but they are still draw for you if they are activated. And so you can look at where we're at. We have gained a colony. Opponent has not. We have this nice point lead. So we're kind of looking at where we want to go next. There's two options of where to go next. First option is we try to build on this point lead. If having a 1 colony lead is good, having a 2 colony lead is certainly probably a little bit better. The deck's of course not going to be working too well as we add more stop cards, but that's life. Opponent's probably going to be having the same issue. So that's one thing we could do. That could look like, either we're going to just deliver a colony straight up, or maybe we take another bank to try to increase payload on future turns and are able to buy a colony with that. So that's one option. The other option is really looking more at this black cat stuff. We mentioned that black cat is draw. Clearly it's still a terminal draw card, so it doesn't work the most amazingly with the walled village. But the opponent, if they buy a green card and we have black cats, these black cats suddenly don't need a village to be draw, right? If we're playing them on our opponent's turn, they're non-terminal, and so having black cats is actually a really, really nice thing because, this kind of limited potential that we have where we're producing 13 coins could become a lot more if we're able to draw a little bit more, which black cat certainly does. And so rather than, go after these green cards, the question is we can actually increase our deck potential. And the way that we increase our deck potential isn't by adding payload, it's actually by adding more draw. And in this case, we can actually add more draw with black cat. This particular turn, we're looking at 2 mining roads right here. There's a bobble down there. It's going to be pretty tough to maintain black cats if we just deliver out the black cats. And so, in this case, since we're trying to increase our deck's potential by adding black cats, we want to be able to do that this turn. We want to be able to do it in future turns also. And so, we're going to deliver Mining Road and 2 black cats to make it so that we're able to certainly be delivering at least 2 more black cats the following turn. Our opponent has to green at some point, so, either it's going to be, we slowly empty these piles, or it's going to be the opponent greens and we get a great turn and we can green ourselves a little bit more.